Then, hey guys, welcome back. We're on day 20 of reading the Bible. I just want to say to anyone that may be watching this now or in the future, I really hope that you would like to read the Bible with me because, um, just a month ago, I was, not religious at all. The thought of even looking into religion or thinking about God or the Bible or any religion just like overwhelmed me and made me super anxious. But I have to say that since I started praying and reading the Bible and trying to like develop a relationship with God and bring Him into my life, there's definitely a sense of peace that I can tell keeps popping up, especially after I pray. And if you read my intro, you know that I have bipolar disorder and anxiety. And for the past couple of weeks, since I started reading the Bible and praying, I've actually been pretty stable for the most part, which is amazing, because I have been all over the place this year so far, just like a roller coaster. And I haven't wanted to drink alcohol. I haven't wanted to smoke weed. I've, been feeling more calm. I've been getting things done. I've been wanting to do better, get healthier physically, mentally. And it's just, my life is really just bringing God into my life has just really made a difference already. And it's been a couple of weeks, and I just want to say to anyone that may have found this video, if you're kind of like unsure, like I was, you know, um, just start praying, just pray and just be real honest. And what do you have to lose? Praying is free. It doesn't cost money. You don't need to go to church to pray. You can do it at home or in your car or wherever. Just find somewhere private and quiet if you can and just pray. Just pour your heart out. Be honest. Just have a real conversation with God and, just see what happens. It doesn't cost any money. Why not? And if you want to read the Bible and you don't have a Bible and you don't have the money for one, watch my videos. I'm doing it here for you. Obviously, it's not like it's more of a modern, version of the Bible, like the words they use and stuff, versus like the more, I think it's like the King James version, I guess is the one of the better ones. I don't know, I have to look into it, but I'm just saying, guys, like I've been having a really bad couple of days, but I feel like I'm getting back on track. Like right now, I prayed right now and I was able to actually pray again deeply, like I was being able to up until the past couple of days. And I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more calm and peaceful. And definitely, God has been answering my prayers and helping me get more clarification with His Word and helping me get past some of the hurdles that have been making me question Him, and if He's real and if the Bible is real, or, I've definitely been talking to Him a lot about that and asking Him to help me. Like today and last night, I've been, I saw this article about how just recently they found some like footprints, like fossilized footprints, human footprints that were, I don't know, like they were thinking somewhere between 23,000 years old and 29,000 years old. And again, there's people that believe that based off the Bible, the earth is only 6,000 years old. And so I've just been like, okay, well, I've always grown up believing that the earth is billions of years old, based off of like science and archaeologists and geologists and all those people. And it's just definitely like difficult for me because there's a sciencey part of my brain and then there's a spiritual faith part of my brain. And I feel like the two are really clashing right now. And I'm trying to find some peace with it. I'm trying to find some resolutions to these questions I'm having, so that I can put that behind me and keep, reading the Bible and keep developing this relationship with God, because I definitely am developing faith in God and believing in Him. And so it's like when these little questions and things come up, I'm like, it like gives me anxiety. So it's like I'm just trying to ask Him to help me get clarification and resolution to these questions, because since I started praying and reading the Bible and asking Him for help and clarification and understanding, He's given it to me every single time. So, I've just been asking and He's been helping. And so I'm just like, okay, well, hopefully, He'll keep helping me and we can keep doing this. So, well, I'm not going to stop anyways. If you've been watching, you guys know I've already committed. I'm going to read the full Bible before I make like any like full assessments or opinions or anything. I'm going to read the actual full Bible. So, I'm babbling, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start with today's chapters. We are on Moses still. Again, like yesterday, I was not able to read these chapters when I was recording them this morning. So, we're just gonna read them together right now.
The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron, stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the land, and it will become gnats throughout the land of Egypt." And they did this. Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff, and when he struck the dust of the land, gnats were on people and animals. All the dust of the land became gnats throughout the land of Egypt. The magicians tried to produce gnats using their occult practices, but they could not. The gnats remained on people and animals. "This is the finger of God," the magician said to Pharaoh. But Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. The Lord said to Moses, "Get up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh when you see him going out to the water. Tell him, 'This is what the Lord says: Let my people go, so that they may worship me. But if you will not let my people go, then I will send swarms of flies against you, your officials, your people, and your houses. The Egyptians' houses will swarm with flies, and so will the land where they live. But on that day I will give special treatment to the land of Goshen, where my people are living. No flies will be there. This way you will know that I, the Lord, am in the land. I will make a distinction between my people and your people. This sign will take place tomorrow." And the Lord did this. Thick swarms of flies went into Pharaoh's palace and his officials' houses. Throughout Egypt, the land was ruined because of the swarms of flies. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "Go sacrifice to your God within the country." But Moses said, "It would not be right to do that, because what we will sacrifice to the Lord our God is detestable to the Egyptians. If we sacrifice what the Egyptians detest in front of them, won't they stone us? We must go a distance of 3 days into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he instructs us." Pharaoh responded, "I will let you go and sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness, but don't go very far. Make an appeal for me." "As soon as I leave you," Moses said, "I will appeal to the Lord, and tomorrow the swarms of flies will depart from Pharaoh, his officials, and his people." But Pharaoh must not act deceptively again by refusing to let the people go and sacrifice to the Lord. Then Moses left Pharaoh's presence and appealed to the Lord. The Lord did as Moses had said. He removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, his officials, and his people. Not one was left. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also, and did not let the people go. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go into Pharaoh and say to him, 'This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go so that they may worship me. But if you refuse to let them go and keep holding them, then the Lord's hand will bring a severe plague against your livestock in the field, the horses, donkeys, camels, herds, and flocks. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that nothing of all that the Israelites own will die.' And the Lord set a time, saying, 'Tomorrow the Lord will do this thing in the land.' The Lord did this the next day. All the Egyptian livestock died, but none among the Israelite livestock died. Pharaoh sent messengers who saw that not a single one of the Israelite livestock was dead. But Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he did not let the people go. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, 'Take handfuls of furnace soot, and Moses is to throw it toward heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over the entire land of Egypt. It will become festering boils on people and animals throughout the land of Egypt.' So they took furnace soot and stood before Pharaoh. Moses threw it toward heaven, and it became festering boils on people and animals. The magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boils were on the magicians as well as on all the Egyptians. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not listen to them, as the Lord had told Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Get up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh. Tell him, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. For this time I am about to send all my plagues against you, your officials, and your people. Then you will know there is no one like me on the whole earth. By now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you and your people with a plague, and you would have been obliterated from the earth. However, I have let you live for this purpose, to show you my power and to make my name known on the whole earth. You are still acting arrogantly against my people by not letting them go. Tomorrow at this time, I will rain down the worst hail that has ever occurred in Egypt from the day it was founded until now. Therefore, give orders to bring your livestock and all that you have in the field into shelters. Every person and animal that is in the field and not brought inside will die when the hail falls on them." Those among Pharaoh's officials who feared the word of the Lord made their servants and livestock flee to shelters. But those who didn't take to heart the Lord's word left their servants and livestock in the field. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward heaven, and let there be hail throughout the land of Egypt, on people and animals and every plant of the field in the land of Egypt." So Moses stretched out his staff toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail. Lightning struck the land, and the Lord rained hail on the land of Egypt. The hail, with lightning flashing through it, was so severe that nothing like it had occurred in the land of Egypt since it had become a nation. Throughout the land of Egypt, the hail struck down everything in the field, both people and animals. The hail beat down every plant of the field and shattered every tree in the field. The only place it didn't hail was in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were. Pharaoh sent for Moses and Aaron. "I have sinned this time," he said to them. "The Lord is the righteous one, and I and my people are the guilty ones. Make an appeal to the Lord. There has been enough of God's thunder and hail. I will let you go. You don't need to stay any longer." Moses said to him, "When I have left the city, I will spread out my hands to the Lord. The thunder will cease, and there will be no more hail, so that you may know the earth belongs to the Lord. But as for you and your officials, I know that you still do not fear the Lord God." The flax and the barley were destroyed because the barley was ripe and the flax was budding. But the wheat and the spelt were not destroyed, since they are later crops. Moses left Pharaoh and the city, and spread out his hands to the Lord. Then the thunder and hail ceased, and rain no longer poured down on the land. When Pharaoh saw that the rain, hail, and thunder had ceased, he sinned again and hardened his heart, he and his officials. So Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he did not let the Israelites go, as the Lord had said through Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his officials, so that I may do these miraculous signs of mine among them, and so that you may tell your son and grandson how severely I dealt with the Egyptians and performed miraculous signs among them, and you will know that I am the Lord." So Moses and Aaron went in to Pharaoh and told him, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, that they may worship me. But if you refuse to let my people go, then tomorrow I will bring locusts into your territory. They will cover the surface of the land so that no one will be able to see the land. They will eat the remainder left to you that escaped the hail. They will eat every tree you have growing in the fields. They will fill your houses, all your officials' houses, and the houses of all the Egyptians, something your fathers and grandfathers never saw since the time they occupied the land until today." Then he turned and left Pharaoh's presence. Pharaoh's officials asked him, "How long must this man be a snare to us? Let the men go, so they may worship the Lord their God. Don't you realize yet that Egypt is devastated?" So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. "Go, worship the Lord your God," Pharaoh said. "But exactly who will be going?" Moses replied, "We will go with our young and with our old. We will go with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds, because we must hold the Lord's festival." He said to them, "The Lord would have to be with you if I would ever let you and your families go. Look out, you're heading for trouble. No, go, just able-bodied men. Worship the Lord, since that's what you want." And they were driven from Pharaoh's presence. The Lord then said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt, and the locust will come up over it and eat every plant in the land, everything that the hail left." So Moses stretched out his staff over the land of Egypt, and the Lord sent an east wind over the land all that day and through the night. By morning, the east wind had brought in the locusts. The locusts went up over the entire land of Egypt and settled on the whole territory of Egypt. Never before had there been such a large number of locusts, and there never will be again. They covered the surface of the whole land so that the land was black, and they consumed all the plants on the ground and all the fruit on the trees that the hail had left. Nothing green was left on the trees or the plants in the field throughout the land of Egypt. Pharaoh urgently sent for Moses and Aaron and said, I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Please forgive my sin once more and make an appeal to the Lord your God so that he will just take this death away from me. Moses left Pharaoh's presence and appealed to the Lord. Then the Lord changed the wind to a strong west wind, and it carried off the locusts and blew them into the Red Sea. Not a single locust was left in all the territory of Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the Israelites go. Then the Lord said to Moses, Stretch out your hand toward heaven, and there will be darkness over the land of Egypt, a darkness that can be felt. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness throughout the land of Egypt for 3 days. One person could not see another, and for 3 days they did not move from where they were. Yet all the Israelites had light where they lived. Pharaoh summoned Moses and said, Go worship the Lord. Even your families may go with you. Only your flocks and herds must stay behind. Moses responded, You must also let us have sacrifices and burnt offerings to prepare for the Lord our God. Even our livestock must go with us. Not a hoof will be left behind because we will take some of them to worship the Lord our God. We will not know what we will use to worship the Lord until we get there. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was unwilling to let them go. Pharaoh said to him, Leave me. Make sure you never see my face again. For on the day you see my face, you will die. As you have said, Moses replied, I will never see your face again. The Lord said to Moses, I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will drive you out of here. Now announce to the people that both men and women should ask their neighbors for silver and gold items. The Lord gave the people favor with the Egyptians. In addition, Moses himself was very highly regarded in the land of Egypt by Pharaoh's officials and the people. So Moses said, This is what the Lord says. About midnight, I will go throughout Egypt, and every firstborn male in the land of Egypt will die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sits on his throne, to the firstborn of the servant girl who was at the grindstones, as well as every firstborn of the livestock. Then there will be a great cry of anguish through all the land of Egypt, such as never was before or ever will be again. But against all the Israelites, whether people or animals, not even a dog will snarl, so that you may know that the Lord makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. All these officials of yours will come down to me and bow before me, saying, Get out, you and all the people who follow you. After that, I will get out. And he went out from Pharaoh's presence, fiercely angry. The Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let the Israelites go out of his land.
Oh my goodness, guys. So, like, I don't know. I feel like God was gonna, like, kill all the firstborns to get his point across. Is that what I was gathering? I don't know, it just bothers me. Like, I mean, I know that, like, you know, there's reasons God does certain things, but it's like, that's a hard pill to swallow, killing babies and children. or just killing anyone in general. Um, you know what? I'm not going to overthink this tonight. I'm just going to kind of like just let it be because, you know, I already prayed tonight and I already asked God to help me with more clarification and understanding. And so I'm just going to kind of let that happen and not overthink the chapters today. So, yes, I'm just going to relax and just let Him help me get some more clarification as we keep going along. So, that's that, guys. I'm going to stop twisting myself up in little anxiety balls over this. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow on day 21. We're still on Exodus, and I hope that, you know, um, if someone found this video and is, you know, wanting to read the Bible with me, please join. Um, I'm my goal is to be consistent every day and upload every single day. Um, but you know, if you need to go at a different pace, you know, whatever works for you. I I believe that it's better to just start trying than to not try at all, because you never know. Like I said in the beginning, it's free to pray. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? Give it a try. All right, guys. Well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for day 21.